Here's a truth that makes people uncomfortable. Not all budget cuts affect your health equally, and some expensive foods are worth protecting in your budget while others can be eliminated with zero nutritional consequence. Understanding this distinction could literally prevent expensive health problems down the line. The Pareto principle applies to nutrition. Roughly 20% of your food choices drive 80% of your health outcomes. The challenge is identifying which 20% matters most for your individual situation, because this varies based on age, health conditions, and activity level. Let's start with what's worth protecting. Omega-3 fatty acids from fish are genuinely difficult to obtain elsewhere, and the research on cardiovascular health, brain function, and inflammation is overwhelming. Wild-caught salmon is expensive, but canned sardines or mackerel provide the same EPA and DHA for about $1 per serving. If you eat fish twice weekly, that's $8 monthly for significant health protection. The ROI on preventing cardiovascular disease, which costs thousands in treatment, is enormous. Quality oils represent another strategic investment. Extra virgin olive oil costs more than generic vegetable oil, but the polyphenol and monounsaturated fats in real olive oil reduce inflammation and improve cholesterol profiles. Cheap vegetable oils high in omega-6 fatty acids actually promote inflammation. You use maybe a tablespoon per meal, so a $12 bottle lasts weeks. The health differential is substantial for minimal cost difference when calculated per use. Certain fruits provide antioxidants that are genuinely hard to replace. Berries are expensive, but frozen berries cost about $4 per pound and provide anthocyanins linked to brain health and reduce disease risk. A serving is half a cup, so that pound provides 8 servings. 50 cents per serving for meaningful antioxidant intake is defensible in most budgets. Now, where substitutions cause zero nutritional loss, organic versus conventional for most produce. The Dirty Dozen list gets heavy rotation, but actual pesticide residue studies show levels in conventional produce are well below safety thresholds, and nutritional content is essentially identical. If choosing organic means you buy less produce overall, you're worse off nutritionally. Name brand versus generic for most packaged goods. Store brand oats are identical to name brand. Generic canned tomatoes have the same lycopene. Store-brand Greek yogurt has the same protein and probiotics. You're paying for marketing and packaging, not nutrition. Grass-fed beef versus conventional. Yes, grass-fed has slightly better omega-3 ratios, but the absolute amounts are still minimal compared to fish. If grass-fed costs 3 times more, you're better off buying conventional beef and using the savings for actual high omega-3 fish. Here's where personalization matters critically. If you have cardiovascular disease risk, prioritizing omega-3s and olive oil makes sense. If you have diabetes risk, spending on high-fiber foods like beans and berries is strategic. If you're pregnant, folate and iron sources become non-negotiable. If you're elderly, protein quality and vitamin D matter more. The decision framework I recommend: categorize foods as protect, modify, or eliminate. Protect means you maintain this purchase despite budget cuts. Modify means you find cheaper versions of the same nutrient. Eliminate means this food provides minimal nutrition relative to cost. What concerns me is people cutting protein to save money, then feeling hungry constantly and binging on cheap processed carbs. Or eliminating produce entirely, then developing deficiency issues that require expensive supplements or medical care. The false economy of these cuts is significant. The psychological component is crucial too. If you eliminate every food you enjoy, you create deprivation that leads to rebellion and binge cycles. Strategic splurging means identifying 1 or 2 foods that bring genuine joy and keeping them in rotation. For some people, good coffee is worth protecting. For others, quality chocolate. The key is conscious choice versus mindless spending. Calculate actual cost per nutrient, not just shelf price. Expensive per pound doesn't mean expensive per serving or per gram of key nutrients. Nuts seem expensive until you realize a serving is an ounce, and that ounce provides protein, healthy fats, vitamin E, and magnesium.